More corruption at the California High-Speed Rail Authority. This is the big boondoggle project that California Democrats are funding with your tax dollars. We've got the latest bombshell revelation coming up and an update on how we're trying to stop this project and save your tax dollars. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California, and let me just tell you that in the course of human history, I don't think, at least to date, that there is a bigger boondoggle project in all of humanity, in all of human history, than the California High-Speed Rail Boondoggle Project. This is an absolute corrupt project that was sold to voters in the most dishonest way, where voters have been cheated repeatedly out of protections that they were promised. And we've got basically a bunch of contractors and special interests getting taxpayer payouts, getting themselves rich on a project that is an absolute boondoggle. We've got the latest revelations to update you on. But first, for those of you who are not aware, the California High-Speed Rail Project was put on the ballot in 2008, Proposition 1A. And the voters were told very clearly that if you authorize $10 billion in taxpayer-funded bonds, that we will get high-speed rail in the state of California. Now, let me just set aside the specifics for just a moment. We'll get back to the specifics and why it was the voters were lied to. Do we need high-speed rail in California? No, we don't need high-speed rail. What we already have is a very robust system called Southwest Airlines. No, I'm serious about this. $149, $99. You can get anywhere in the state of California real quick with Southwest Airlines. The market can deal with this issue. We do not need to have a government-funded high-speed rail program. But again, these people are all these climate change activists. They think, oh, if you build a rail line, everyone's going to use it. Take a look at public transit. Only 2% of Americans and Californians are using transit, even in their local communities. It's an absolute loser proposition. The market has spoken. People want market-based transportation, and the market can respond faster, better, and cheaper to give people the transportation options that they desire. So first and foremost, it's an absolute unsustainable idea. It's a fantasy. It's not realistic to get from the very get-go. But voters were told, if you spend $10 billion, we'll get this train. And that there are protections, that we won't spend a dime more than $10 billion. That's what the ballot measure said. That's what all the ads said. They said that the project in total would cost somewhere between $20 and $30 billion. And that if we put up $10 billion of taxpayer money, that the private sector will bring the other money. Well, now we are sitting here nearly 20 years later, and there's no private money. It's all taxpayer funded. We've busted through what the voters have already authorized for spending. They increased the gas tax in order to fund some shortfalls in high-speed rail. And here's the latest number for the construction costs. This is as of the spring of this past year, and it'll just get higher because they update it every year. California high-speed rail cost jumps to $128 billion. That is $100 billion more than what voters were told the whole project would cost. And it is $120 billion more than what the taxpayers were on the hook for originally. Now we're on the hook for the entire boondoggle. Who's benefiting? The government, labor unions, and a bunch of politically connected developers and contractors who are doing work on this boondoggle. All of these political consultants and contractors, these special interests, they are feeding at the trough your taxpayer money. And these politicians don't give a rip about whether or not this is affordable, whether it is justifiable. Imagine what you could do with $128 billion to improve our water system so we can store water. Imagine what you can do with $128 billion to fix roads and expand highways. Imagine what you can do with $128 billion. Oh, I don't know, if you just gave the money back to struggling working families in California that can't afford to pay their bills. Shame on Governor Newsom. Shame on the Democrats in the state legislature for continuing this scam. Now, the latest development is this one. Just came out a few weeks ago. Fresno B. California takes first step to buy trains for high-speed rail. Oh, they're asking what's the price tag? I'm asking why the hell? Remember, this project doesn't have any rail lines. The project is still in limbo. The only people who've been paid are consultants to plan the plan. These people are doing no real construction work. This is not anywhere near getting done. I mean, remember, the first trains were supposed to be rolling in 2020. They're not even thinking anything's going to happen until 2030, 2035. Guaranteed nothing's going to happen, period, because this is just going to be a way for them to milk. They're saying that they want to spend $500 million to buy 6 train sets and pre-fund 30 years of maintenance. In other words, a contractor gets money for trains that won't be used and gets 30 years of maintenance for trains that won't be used and therefore won't need maintenance. It's like buying a brand new car, letting it sit in the showroom and saying, oh, I want to buy maintenance on it. Are you going to drive it? No. Well, let me pre-fund 30 years worth of maintenance and oil changes and gasoline. Are you going to drive it? No. Sounds like a sweet contract if you can contribute enough money to Gavin Newsom to get it. $500 million on 6 train sets for a train line that's not built. Why are we doing this now? How about we build the train tracks first and then think about it? Frankly, even better. How about we cancel the whole damn project and try to save as much or mitigate as much of the loss as possible? It says here, the state anticipates ordering 2 prototype train sets for delivery in 2028 to test not only the trains, but the tracks. Wait, there are no tracks. There are no tracks. We don't expect this to be done anytime in this decade, considering the cost overruns and the delays and the delays and the delays. All these little companies are out there bidding. South Korea is out there getting money. I'm surprised we're not buying trains from China. I'm sure that's in the works as well. Look, at Reform California, we're leading the fight to stop boondoggles like this, to educate the voters so that they can vote out bad legislators, vote in better leaders who can say enough's enough, no more throwing good money after bad. Let's cancel the high-speed rail project to nowhere. I need your help, though. We need you to share this video so people are aware of this latest scam and cost overrun and absurd boondoggle on the high-speed rail project. Like this video and share it. Also subscribe to this channel so we can keep giving you updates. It helps us break through the censorship of the liberal media. And go online to reformcalifornia.org and join our movement to elect better leaders. Chip in a contribution and also sign up for our voter guide, because we will rank candidates based upon their position on issues like opposition to tax increases, their opposition to more money to the high-speed rail project. We'll give you that voter guide every election so that you can vote accordingly. Until next time, this is Reform California and Carl DeMaio. Thanks for watching. Help us break through the censorship of the liberal media by liking this video, sharing it with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel.